All right, when I say cannabis, what's the first thing that pops into your head? It's probably that picture-perfect frosty bud, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what happens to all the stuff that gets trimmed off the plant? That's what we're diving into today, the hidden gold mine of the cannabis plant. Yeah, that beautiful, dense flower, that's definitely the main event. But getting it to look that way means a lot of other plant material gets left behind. So, all those little bits and pieces, are they just, swept up and thrown away? Nope, not at all. Actually, they are the secret ingredient behind a massive part of the cannabis market. So let's meet these unsung heroes. We're talking about trim and shake. And look, these are way more than just leftovers. They're actually super valuable, incredibly versatile, and they're the foundation for so many products you probably see all the time. It's the ultimate story of turning, well, scraps into staples. All right, let's start with trim. Now, don't think of this as just a random pile of leaves. Trim is a very specific byproduct that's created every single time a cannabis bud gets prepped to hit the shelves. So what is it exactly? Well, trim is all the extra stuff. The sugar leaves, the fan leaves, even some teeny tiny buds that gets carefully snipped off the main flower during the harvesting process. The whole point is to give that final bud its clean, premium look and make sure it smokes really well. So you see, creating trim is totally intentional. Growers are meticulously manicuring these buds, and all those little clippings get saved. And here's the key part. Those clippings include the sugar leaves. They're called that because they're covered in frosty, cannabinoid-packed trichomes. Now, how it's trimmed makes a huge difference. A careful hand trim is going to give you much higher quality, more potent trim than a machine ever could. Okay, so that's trim. Now let's switch gears and talk about its cousin, shake. And if trim is made on purpose, well, shake is kind of a happy accident. Shake is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's all the little bits and pieces of flower that just fall off when the buds are being handled, stored, or moved around. When you get to the bottom of a big jar of flour, all that stuff that's collected down there, yep, that's shake. So you can see the difference, right? Trimming is a deliberate action. Shake just happens. It's the natural result of buds being packaged, shipped, or even just jostled around in their container on a dispensary shelf. It's what you get when a delicate dried flower gets moved around. It's pretty much unavoidable. Okay, so at this point, you might be thinking, they're both just small bits of cannabis. What's the big deal? And that's a fair question. So let's do a little showdown, trim versus shake, and really break down what makes them different. And trust me, getting this difference is super important, whether you're growing it or buying it. Where they come from and what they're actually made of, it completely changes how they're used and, honestly, what they're worth. All right, so here's the breakdown. Trim is mostly leaves, but, and this is a big but, it's got those super valuable trichome-heavy sugar leaves, so it can be really potent. Shake, on the other hand, is literally broken up pieces of the actual flower. The catch is that it's often lost a lot of its trichomes just from being knocked around so much. The easiest way to remember it, trim is made, shake just happens. So now we know what they are and what makes them different. Let's get to the fun part. How do these humble scraps get turned into some of the most popular products you can buy? Well, the number one use for both trim and shake, you've probably guessed it, pre-rolls. I mean, it just makes perfect sense, right? Why would you grind up a top-shelf, beautiful bud when you can use this material instead? It lets producers make joints that are affordable, super convenient, and consistent every time. But this is where trim, specifically high-quality trim, really shines. Remember all those trichomes we talked about? Well, because good trim is loaded with them, it is the absolute perfect starting material for making potent concentrates. Extractors can pull out all that goodness and turn it into products like wax, shatter, or even live resin. And, of course, it doesn't stop there, not even close. Both trim and shape are fantastic for making infused products. You can extract the cannabinoids into butter or oil, and bam! You've got the base for edibles like brownies and gummies, or for things like tinctures and topicals. It's all about pulling that value out of every last bit. So if you're in the cannabis industry, you're starting to see that this stuff has real value. And that means you have to treat it right. This isn't trash you're dealing with. These are hidden assets, and it's all about knowing how to unlock their potential. And it really comes down to three key things. First up, store it properly. That means keeping it separate from your whole flower in a cool, dark, airtight container. Gotta protect those cannabinoids and terpenes. Second, You've got to track your inventory. You need to know how much you have and what the quality is like so you can plan ahead. And third, and this one's a biggie, quality control. You have to check it for any contaminants. No matter what you're making, it absolutely has to be safe and clean. You know, this is about more than just finding a use for some leftovers. It's a whole philosophy, really. It's about using every single part of the plant and maximizing its potential. And when you do that, you reduce waste, you make your operation more profitable, and honestly, you help build a more sustainable industry overall. So, here's the thought I want to leave you with. The next time you grab a pre-roll or have an edible, just think about it for a second. You're not just enjoying a product, you're actually holding the result of a really smart, really resourceful process that knows how to find value where others might just see scraps.